Well, everybody, I'm not headed for the moon. This is just a new get-up I'm trying out for taking videos. Okay, so I've had some audio issues, and because of that, I have this on. So I've got double vision here going. I will be adjusting one of the screens for y'all so that you can see that tonight I am going to show you how to put embroidery with the PE800 onto stretch fabric, stretch knit as a matter of fact. I got a project that I helped a young gentleman do on a hat. He needed a applique made to give to a friend as a gift. It was really sweet. So your Sew What Seamstress is still at work and doing some crazy stuff. But you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Can't stand watching a video with no sound, and I know you all can't either. And I've been busting my brain trying to figure all this mess out. And there's a will, there's a way, they say, and I'm gonna find that way. The PE800 is very, very user-friendly. I started out with a PE150, and then I went to the Brother DZ83. I can't remember the number, but I know the DZ was in there. And it was a little bit of an upscale. It had the USB feature where you could actually download PES designs from the internet and on a thumb drive and plug it inside. But this sweetheart does a whole lot more. The DZ model, you could, do the downloading, but when you had a design in the machine itself, you couldn't change it. You couldn't make it larger. You couldn't shrink it. You could make it wider, anything like that. This, you can. It's extremely versatile. You do so much more with a machine like this. So when you are doing a stretch knit, and everybody shies away from stretch knits for just regular sewing, the deal is with that, when you're sewing on a sewing machine with stretch material, you can do one of two things. There actually is a stretch thread you can use, but it's a little pricey, but you can still use regular polyester thread on your knit items. And the only trick with your using the polyester thread on a knit item is using a stretch needle. I do highly recommend it. I know that I don't always use a stretch needle. It's not really necessary. It's the settings on your sewing machine that help you be able to tackle that stretch knit and take your time. But when it comes to embroidering a stretch knit, that is a whole different picture. It's going to be very difficult for a machine that does thousands of stitches in just a couple minutes to be able to not pull on that and not totally tear up the material. You don't want to mess up your project. So with that in mind, there is a stabilizer that comes out, and you can get this on Amazon too, by the way, that has a adhesive back to it, and the adhesive backing is the real shiny side. That's the part you peel off. The part that kind of feels like regular stabilizer. That is the portion that is going to be facing the bobbin. So this is peel off, and this is the piece of stretch knit that I'm using. I have it cut out for a certain shape, by the way. I'll tell you what that is in a little minute. And the reason why I put the pieces on like this is it's going to be a hat, by the way. It's a hat. You know, that crazy guy that photobombed me on one of my videos? Out there, it's for him. So, this is going to have a seam in the back, and where these two pieces are going to meet, I'm going to do an embroidery across that. So I have embroidery on the back and on the front. I'm going to show you how to do the front first, period. Okay, if you're wondering why this getup, I downloaded a wonderful program. It's called Dragon, Naturally Speaking. I had the basic version at one time, and when I realized the better features of the upgrade, kind of like the upgrade of having this machine, the thing that I did was I purchased the premium one, and I have never looked back at that. I'm having some problem here with this one. This one new computer I'm using. It wants me to click this and click that. So I'm going to click this and click that and see if I can get it up and running again. If it's not, we'll just deal with that, and hopefully I'm able to record what I'm recording. Let's see. I don't want to do a tutorial, okay? Hello. It took me to a teaching thing. I don't know why I did that. Well, let's see if we still have our video feed going on over here. Well, looks like it's still there. I don't know why it does that. Oh, anyway. I said, new way. At least I've got 2 cameras watching me, right? Just bear with me. And I don't like editing, so this is all for real. You peel off the backing on your stick-on stabilizer. I keep forgetting what it's called. It's the sticky stuff. You peel it off. Now, typically you would want the whole sheet. These are 8x8. Yeah, these are 8x8 squares. I believe there is one that comes in a roll, a large roll that you can purchase and just cut what you need as you need it. But I have it for this particular project, and why this is giving me such trouble over there. But you want to have it be able to fit the hoop that you're using. Now, the PE800 has 3 different size hoops that it can use. And the 3 different sizes, there's a 4x4, there's one that's like a 5x7, and I'm trying to remember the size of this one. This one is actually the 7 by 10. I believe this is, or it's like 7.25 by 10. And the reason why I'm using this one for this project is because I'm tricking my embroidery machine a little bit. I'm fibbing to it. Even though the design I need to use is smaller than this, I want to have a lot of surface to use. And that's a little trick that I do in case I want to add something to it. And I've done that before. I will get something small, put on here. It's like, I want something in that corner, in that corner, that corner. And then I go, hey, I need a bigger hoop to do that. Because when you put the hoop in here, you have to tell it what size you're using. And then you tell it what size lettering. So if I put a 4x4 hoop in the embroidery machine, and I'm going to print the large letters, or the largest, which is like 2 inches on this. But what's great about this machine, you can make the letters larger than 2 inches. Yes, you can. You just have to remember to rotate your screen, or rotate your design within here. It's a touch screen. That's even better than spam sliced bread. So once you adhere the sticky stabilizer to the wrong side of your project, because it's the stabilizer is to stabilize the stretch so it doesn't stretch while the machine is stitching it. That is what you want to make sure you are protecting. So and I always have to think before I put one of these hoops together. The hoop, the bottom hoop, the outside, the notches that snap into the bar, the moving bar there. You want to make sure, first of all, that it's right side up to snap in. Then you take your fabric, your knit fabric that has the stabilizer attached to it, on top of that. Now make sure that you have at least 1.5 inches outside of the hoop. The reason for that is because you're going to put the inside hoop to make it taut and tight, so that the embroidery machine just glides right through it. And that's why you do it that way. Now I have to remember where the middle of this is. And I forgot to mark it. I usually will take like a pin or something that you don't want to do any pins while you have this in here. But halfway there. So at the halfway mark in my fabric, it's going to be at the halfway mark of my hoop. And on the reverse side, okay, with the bottom hoop, you kind of have to either, you can take a marker and mark where that center mark is on here. They also, the hoops come with a grid, a plastic grid that you can sit under it, and so you know where the middle is when you go to place it inside. So I'm going to put this, I just have my thumb sitting there where it is. And the center on this one is about there. I've done this enough times, I think. And I'm going to put it just like that, making sure that it's even. Another thing you can do for any project that you do on an embroidery machine is take the chalk, dressmaker's chalk, and you can actually mark an X in it to give you the center point. It'll give you the middle and the center of both the vertical and horizontal. Now this inside hoop, and I don't know if you can see this, it actually has little arrows, little triangles right here on either end, and then here and here. These are in this, these when they intersect, that's your center. When you first turn this on, it will automatically go to the center, and then you judge everything from there. And you put it with the recessed part, the part that dips in, facing up. And you put it inside the outside hoop, like that. And you want the top to be flush, flat, both layers of plastic. It is literally flush. And you don't want one higher than the other, otherwise it's not going to be the right tautness. Now, when you do use stretch material on an embroidery machine, you want to make sure, depending on how the item is being used, whether it be vest, pants, hat, whatever, or if where the stretch is important for the use of it, that you place it where the most stretch is. So for this, since it's going around here, the stretch has to be this way. So it'll stretch around there, right? So that's how I have it placed. I have the stabilizer placed on there to where it's the stretchiest. And where it's the stretchiest is what we are protecting, because once we peel this off when it's done embroidering, the stretch will still be there and it will not deter it from being able to stretch to fit. So once you get it in there, what I do is I pull it just a little bit from each side to make it a little tighter, because you want it as tight as it can stand it. This is only a two-way stretch knit. And what I mean by that is it has one-way stretch is really good, and the other one a little bit, but not much. That's a two-way stretch. Four-way stretch are more like for active wear, leggings, swimsuits, that sort of thing. Two-way is kind of like your all-purpose stretch material. Okay. And then what I do, I'll kind of tap the back and make sure that it doesn't bend in too much. If it stretches into a little too much, as long as this is good and tight, I mean real good and tight, then I can pull it just a little bit more. Just a little bit. I do not want this design to be like all over the place, because what will happen is the fabric will slide while it's trying to stitch and it will really mess it up. So I have not used a knit on this particular machine. I did on my other one. So this is going to be first for me too. Yeah. And I do apologize for my back being to one camera or the other. All right. When you first turn it on, I'm going to start from scratch here for you and turn it off. When you first turn it on, what it does is this. And it lights up, shows Brother. The first thing you do, you touch the screen. Then it says raise the presser foot lever. If the presser foot lever is down, you raise it up. This is where you let the machine tell you what to do. Because if you don't, it won't work. And it says the carriage of the embroidery unit will move. Keep your hands away from there. So don't have your hands down here when you push those. You hit OK. And it positions it in the center, the natural center of anything you are going to put on the embroidery machine. Then your first screen gives you fonts for different letters and different figures, and you press what you want to put on your project. I am doing letters and numbers type of thing, and there's one that the letters and numbers have little flowers on them and they're really cute. But this is just going to be bold lettering. And for the boldest lettering that I can come up with, I'm going to start this way a little bit. Okay, yeah, y'all can see it over here really good. I'm not as right there, but so we have, I call them block letters. Gothic kind of sort of has a point to it. The bubble letters, which are hollow. Script letters. I call these caveman letters, by the way, because they're like, they look really, chopped off, but rugged. And then the thin, kind of like, I call them crayon letters. I don't even know what lettering. I don't know what it's called. But this particular machine has I think it's 16 or 13 fonts in it, including Japanese. Yes. Oh, yes, it does. And they're they have the picture language. It's really cool. I wish they did the alphabet in there, because then I could actually do someone's name in the Japanese lettering, which would be cool. But it's not in there. And that might be something I can bug Brother to do. So I'm going to put my hoop in. And remember your positioning where you have it, okay? It snaps in just like that. So snap the hoop in. I have to pick a style of lettering. I also have thumb drives with other types of fonts and things like that. And so it's not unusual. Putting some weird stuff on this other computer. I like this one. This one's nice. You're being mean. But so I think I'm going to do the sort of, I think they call it Times New Roman font. That is actually what it's called. Where it has the little crisp lines. And I want to touch that. Now the other great thing with this particular embroidery machine is if you want to do two different types of lettering in it on the same thing without having to go all the way back out, you can. You can actually add items to your design where you can't with the other ones. They're so much more versatile. This is kind of like having a typewriter or a word processor where you can just add stuff. So I'm going to go to, and they have at the top of the box, it will show your ABC, numbers and symbols, and then letters with the symbols like for foreign languages. So in Spanish you have the accent over certain letters. It's in there. It's a separate little tab, and all you do is touch it. So if you're writing the word, say, hola, H-O-L-A with the little accent mark, you can do H-O-L, hit that, and it'll give you the A that has that as you're programming what you want it to type in there. That's really cool, don't you think? Can you imagine doing a personalized gift in someone's foreign language? That'd be cool, wouldn't it? And I don't know what the other symbols are for what types of languages, and they're in there. So I'm going to go to the second box that has numbers. And as soon as you hit the first item, it's going to automatically go to, down in the left-hand corner, there's a box that says LMS, large, medium, small, just like clothes. And depending on how much room you have on the project you're doing, it will determine whether or not it will let you do the large. So right now, that hoop, the way it is, this way long, facing me, it's coming long ways. anything I type in there, this machine is going to put right across the middle, just like if I was writing on a piece of paper, okay? If I were to put too many letters or numbers under the large size, this machine will say, hey, you don't have enough room, you need to turn it 90 degrees or you got to make it smaller. It's a smart machine. So I know what I'm putting in here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 items to put in here. Here's 1. And it actually typed in 2. I don't want 2. That's another great thing with this. You don't have to back all the way out and start over. You just hit delete and it deletes the extra one. Getting easier, isn't it? You're going to want one of these when I get done with this. And then, so I don't see the symbol that I need in between. So what I do is I go, there's 2 little arrows down here. I go to the right to the next page to see if what I need is on the next page. Nope, not there. Another thing it tells you is how many pages you have to go through to find what you need. And if you don't find it there, you have to look somewhere else. So this is 4 pages for these special symbols. So the next page. Oh, there it is right there. There's my second item. Now it's saying the little tiny hoop picture has a circle, a red circle and a line through it. That means already those 2 large items are not going to fit on something that small. So if I had something that small, I would have to make my letter size either medium or small to see if that would fit. But I'm not worried about that. So my second one now, now that I have those 2 items, I need to go back to the numbers to be able to get that one in there. So I go backwards, that arrow that goes a page back, and what I need is not on there, so I go back 1 more page, and there's what I need, and then the last one I need is right there, and now I have the design I want to put on this particular project. Now that I've done that, it's telling me it's okay to have 4 large items on it as long as I have the large hoop, and I do, and that's why I use the large hoop, because I know if I want something large, I have to have it already in the machine. It doesn't, I mean, if you're always doing small things, that's fine, but if you're kind of on the fence, it's like, I want to do large, but let me start out with medium. And then you find out you have room to put more. And you're like, yeah, now I can put that flower on there. Yeah, I can put that heart on there. So that's why I use the large one. I don't think I hardly ever use the small hoop unless I'm literally doing something small over and over and over again. Like with the second Blessings event. The 2021 Blessings event that I've started, the NSF Quest. It has nothing to do with your checkbook, by the way. NSF, no seniors forgotten. And we'll talk about that at the end. But now it's talking to me. Oh my goodness. This is so funny. You know, some of these programs have a mind of their own and they don't want to leave you alone. So I'm like having to close all these little boxes. And I just hope. Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't know that was involved. Oh, too funny. This is way funny for me. You gotta love computers, right? Hey, program, you're holding me up here. I'm trying to do my job. Well, it's not a job. You're holding up my passion here. You're putting a crimp on it. You cut that out. Yeah, why not? It's like, do you want to use this? Sure. If it helps my videos, yeah, I'll do it. Oh my goodness. So and have all the digits, letters that I need. And when you get to this part, it says at the bottom you can check it, delete, go back, or you can set it. So if you're satisfied with what comes up in the top, it's kind of like a search bar, and it puts in what you typed in for your design to be. And you hit set. Now you get to see your design in bold letters and numbers and all that good fun stuff right in the middle. Now there's a problem. This is showing this way. In other words, like my project is going to be this way, okay? For my letters to be, or letters or numbers, to be this way, it's not going to work. That's not where I want it. I want it to go right across, okay? So, with that, and you have some options. After you hit set, you can move it, size it, rotate it. You can change the font. You can edit the font. So you think, I really don't like the way it looks. Because it gives you an opportunity to see what it's going to look like when it's done. If you don't like it, you can change the font. The old system couldn't do it. You literally had to start over. You had to delete it all off, change the font, go back in. Waste of time. This saves so much more time when you have to make last-minute changes or in the middle of changes. At this point, you can also make it multicolored if you like. That's fun too. I just did that earlier. It was cool. You can zoom in on it to make sure it's how you want it to look. So I'm very happy with the font. The size is awesome. But the one thing I can't live with is the fact that if I make it like this on the way it's being worn, it's going to be like chopping the person's head in half. I want to go the way. I want to go eyeball, eyeball. So we're going to rotate. Now rotate says 90 degrees, 10 degrees, 1 degree. You can go to the right, you can go to the left. First one's to the right because that's the easiest one for everybody to remember, I guess. I mean, it is for me, and I'm a lefty. So I'm going to go 90 degrees to the right, and you will see how it turns, how it flips, and what it looks like or is going to look like. He needs to stay out of my room.
Oh my God! Look,
you photobombed me once. Get out of here.
I know. I'm so sorry. I totally forgot.
Okay, has anybody got a mallet? Got a fly swat or something I can throw at him?
Oh,
that would be great. Yeah, you're not even supposed to see it. No, I don't want your candy. Get out of here. He wants to give me candy.
The chocolate's a hot commodity around here. I filed civil lawsuit against David for complimenting my chocolate.
Calgon, take me away.
Sorry.
Okay, you better be.
If you need anything custom made, go to Sue's.
He's my biggest fan. Isn't that wonderful? Sometimes. Okay. So I've turned it. Oh, hush. So I've turned it 90 degrees because that's how it's supposed to be on the project that I'm making. This is what I have to deal with like all day, every day since a year ago. Okay. So it is where it needs to be. It's going to fit. It's going to look fabulous. So I can hit OK. Now, even after you hit OK, this is another plus with this PE800. It still gives you an option to move it, size it. So if I don't want it exactly in the middle there, and you know what, I think I'm going to move it down just a little bit because I'm trying to feel where my stabilizer is under there. And it actually, no, it's fine. I'm just going to move it maybe 2 rows down. So I'm going to hit move. And you get this little box that has little arrows. You can move it diagonally. This way, that way, or sideways, or up and down. And you can watch it move as you do it. This thing is making my head itch. Okay, so I'm going to move it down just 1. 4 taps moves it down. See, the whole screen here is gridded. So if you have one of the plastic grids that typically does come with these hoops, you can actually have it sitting there with it and watch it and go, okay, that's where I need it. And then you can stop. And I need to get better at this, taking notes, because then if I were to add something to this and I don't want it to stitch over this, or vice versa, then I need to know the positioning where it's at on the grid here. to be able to put the next thing around it or next to it, okay? So it is just a little lower than the center, and I'm trying to see. Yeah, my that should be. I'm going to do it 2 more times. I just want it just below the center. Now on your design, there's a little red box. That's the warning, the warning zone. And it will tell you your design is outside of the area where it can be printed and that you need to adjust it and change it. I'm sorry, I keep turning my back, but this is the computer that's giving me fits. This is the one that's been giving me sound problems, and I'm trying to curtail that. So if I have to do, this is basically for subtitles. If I have to do subtitles out of the 2, I'll figure out which one does a better video, right? Why not? More is more. Now, once you're at this point, I didn't show you how to thread it. It's simple. It's numbered. You put your embroidery thread here. You go 1, down, up, 2, 3, down, up, and over. It's just like a sewing machine the way it is threaded. It's just a bigger one and a neater one, and makes more cool stitches than a regular sewing machine, okay? And this one has a self-threader, which is great. I love it. Not all machines do. And these eyes aren't young anymore. That's all done. It's threaded. It's ready to go, except for one thing. I moved it, and the young gentleman I told you about that I helped with his project and his appliques, he said, this is the start button. Embroidery machines, in case anybody is not aware, do not use a foot pedal. Period. They are a self-thinking computerized genius. They don't need a foot pedal to tell them when to go. It's just a button. Hit it. It is still red. Why is it red? Because down here in the right corner, it says OK. It does not say end, and it does not say embroider or embroidery. So I'm going to hit OK because it's ready to go. And then at the bottom it says edit end. So the whole time you're in edit mode. You can edit anytime through there and not have to erase everything and not have to start all over. So I hit edit end. Now it says embroidery in purple. I like purple. It says embroidery. It's still red. The start button is still red. Do you know why? Because the presser foot is still up. It will not stitch until that presser foot is down and that light head is green. So I'm going to put it down. And we're going to let this little guy have his fun. So I'm going to hit embroidery now. Now it's green. See, I had to put the presser foot down, then hit embroidery. And now it says, I'm ready to work now, Mom. I'm ready to embroider what you put in. So let's let her do her job, okay? I haven't named her yet. I usually pick up names for my machines, and this one doesn't have a name yet. But she'll get one. Oh, I'm so glad I picked this bright color up. That's where she gets a little crazy. With something of this type, you want something to pop, especially a piece of apparel like that. You know, that's going to catch someone thinking, where'd they get that? I haven't seen any of those in the store. Where'd they get that? So whoever is getting this is going to get a lot of business cards, because I would love to have the business. And I'm hoping she'll behave herself. Sometimes what might possibly happen with, especially stretch items, is that there might be a spot that the stretch kind of like fights the machine and the thread breaks, and then you have to deal with that. I know, I got a name for it. I just thought it's B. Miss B. It's a brother. Why not have Miss B? I have a Lady Kenmore sewing machine. Why not a Miss B? Well, you're going to love this to see how this looks when it's done. And just hope. I just hope that nut does. Can you believe that? Honestly, I think he's jealous of me videoing stuff. He's from California. And in the industries, as I say. Oh, this is fabulous. This is absolutely fabulous. Okay. 2 more to go. I don't care if Microsoft woke up. I want to go back to sleep. Leave me alone. You know, computers are great things when they don't argue with you. And one of these is arguing with me. Keep it up and you'll be going to somebody else's house one day. This is awesome. And I have to think what goes on the back. I haven't figured that one out yet. But I have a bunch of downloaded designs. Now, there are a lot of people who have designs for all kinds of embroidery machines. If you have a different model or make or type of embroidery machine, make sure you know the language that it understands and can translate. Because if you download the wrong format, it will not translate to your machine and you will not be able to use the design. Yes, I'm closing boxes again. I have no idea what is going on right now. I guess I'll see when I read the transcript off of it, won't I? It's like, oh, I said that. I don't remember saying that. We are almost there, folks. Where are we at? Oh, last one. Last one. Yeah, I did pick the right one, right color. It's one of those in-your-face colors. Let's see how that's going to look. And when I got my first embroidery machine, I kind of played around with it and tested this and that. And now that I have this one, I'm really playing. I'm trying to figure out how to make like a ghost kind of outline for lettering. And on this machine, it's very, very easy to do. I'll have to cover that with you one day. So anyone who's watching this video who has one of these is thinking about possibly getting one. If you get one, I'll have more incentive to do more videos and show you stuff they don't show you in the book that comes with it. I like challenges and I create my own challenges sometimes. Yay! This is so cool. It is way cool. You know, he came in this room earlier and he wanted to know what I was making with it, and I told him, I can't tell you, it's for you. I don't even know what to do it for. Well, I'll tell you later. NSF, when you're done and it's done, and Miss B says, I'm done. Miss B says, I'm finished embroidering. And she says, okay. And then I say, okay. The cool thing with this is, other than you can change things in the middle of and when you till you get what you want, even when it's done, even when this thing is done, you can add to it. Again, like I can go back and add something to it. And you know what? I'm tempted to add something from the thumb drive. Should I do it? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. It's different. Okay, now at this point I want to add to this. And for what I want to add, it depends on how big it's gonna let me do it. I'm probably going to have to flip it. I know I'm gonna have to flip it because I had to flip this. So I'm gonna go, it's kind of like, what is it? One of these things, backspace. It's a backspace. So you hit backspace, and it takes me to the screen before this. I'm going to backspace again. Now we have this little button here that says Add. I'm going to hit Add. Now remember, when you hit Add, at this stage, you finish the main part. Whatever you put in there, unless you move it, it will go literally on top of what you have because it goes automatically to center. And that's okay in this case. Because I want, what I want to put in the middle, I want it to go in the center. I'm even going to change the color, by the way. Oh! Okay. I'm going to add. It goes back to the main screen. So when you want to add from the main screen, I can go to my thumb drive. And that's where I want it to go. Yes. Oh, boy. I'm putting a cross on here, by the way. I have a folder that says that. And then the next thing you'll see, if it's someone you purchased from multiple formats, I have to find the one for my machine. And there's several. There's a DST format, EXP, HUS, JEF, and PES. Brothers are all PES. So I'm going to hit PES. That's the language this machine understands in order to do the design that I'm looking for. This is so exciting, I can't wait. So, let's see. You have an opportunity here to get real creative. And let me see. I have to use the largest hoop, which is alright. And there's 2 pages. I want to see what's on page 2. I've never looked at page 2, I don't think. Page 2 has, it's the same thing, but it's different sizes. That's the deal. So let's see what this one is. This says 83.5 millimeters tall and 30 millimeters wide. I'm going to do this one. Okay. Well, it's big enough that you have to have a big hoop. Okay. Now I'm going to hit set. But I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. Now, when I look at it, it's covering up, it'll show you. It's going to cover up the middle of what I just put in there. So I may have to rethink this one, right? It would be wonderful if I could get it to be skinnier. So with that, you go to size. You can't do that on other ones. The pictures that it has in here, you can squeeze in just this from side to side. You can squeeze it in, or you can make it wider. Well, I'm going to squeeze it in. See what happens with that. I'll make it nice and skinny. Okay, that's as skinny as it's going to let me go. So, let's see. As skinny as it's going to go, huh? Well, I'm going to say, okay. But I'm going to hit select. I'm going to go back to the thumb drive and see if I can find one that's smaller. And that kind of can make skinnier. I want it real nice and thin to fit in a certain space. So let's see. Select this. I'm going to delete that cross. Yeah. So now I'm going to add again. It has the little USB symbol. And I'm going to go back to that. PES. And I'm going to see if I can get this one in here. Okay. Set. Oh, this one looks like it might just work, guys. Might just work. I need to rotate it that way. And I'm trying to make it a little bit thinner than what it is. I just want it to kind of be there, you know? And do size. Come on. And you can take your finger and actually move it just a hair. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'll move it just above it. just above there in the center, and then hit OK. And then I'm going to go back and do size one more time. It's a little too tall, so I have to make it shorter. So I'm going to do that. Let's see. You won't let me do it shorter? Oh, aren't you a mean thing? Let's see. Okay, let's do this then. Will it let me do it this way? Oh, that worked. Ooh, I want it to be a certain. Okay. Oh, I think I got it. Right. That works. Works for me. I can't wait to see how this turns out. And I hope that there's enough of the stabilizer under there to do it. It starts messing up. I'm so messed up. All right, so hit OK, and I'll be able to tell once it gets started with its thing. I did move it, right? Yeah. Okay. At the end. Okay, good. It moved. What it does, it moves to where it's going to end up when it stops. Okay, I've got my embroidery. The light turns green. Hold finger, brush fingers. Stop. It's not where I want it to start. So I need to go back and take out the first part. I have to delete that. So I'm going to go back. I know that, honey. Go back one more time. I know that. Oh, it's telling me I got to raise the needle up. You have to raise the needle up to do that. Okay, back. I'm going to select the first one and take that out. Yeah. It says it's okay to cancel it. Yes. Now all I see is the part that I'm adding, but I already know it's not going to run into what I just did to start with. That's the best part about it. Edit end. Embroider. It's green. Let's go. Oops. I don't know. Let's see. I'm holding my breath on this one, guys. I mean, part of it's kind of working with the other one. It's kind of like, because it doesn't have the stabilizer on the back, but prayerfully, it'll be okay. Come on. I'm so holding my breath right now, it's not even funny. This is so nerve-wracking. See, I should have put a bigger piece on the back, and I didn't, and all of a sudden I want to add something. But I live and learn, right? I have more fabric if I need to make another one. This is just such an awesome machine. But in all honesty, if it does this part and it's okay, when it does that, there's an outline that goes around it. When the outline part's added, then it will be able to adhere to what's already there, like a stabilizer, right? It does. And then you can see where it's pulled on the stretch of it, but the rest of it's stretching too anyway, so it's bad. Now I'm going to do a sneaky thing. Oh, just a second. I'm going to let it finish this row. And I'm going to stop it. Kids, don't do this at home. Don't try this at home. Don't come in here.
No good. Hey.
Hold on a second.
I'm at 1,800.
1,800 what?
Bucks.
For what? He's telling me about his finances now. What's that thing?
Nah. Dude, I'm crushing it.
Oh, you're playing a game.
Oh.
He's playing a game on his phone. He interrupted my work for this. Can you believe this shit?
1,800. I can cash it out. No. 1,800.
Just cash it out and get out of my room.
Do you think I should cash it out?
Should he cash it out, people? They say yes.
Oh, you're going to keep going. I'm going to keep going.
No. They want you to cash it out. Go cash it out. Maybe I'll get some stuff done.
Okay.
I get half. Maybe you should keep playing and get half.
I showed you, yeah.
I know.
You want to spin one time?
No, I don't want to spin. I'm trying to finish this.
4,000.
I may have to keep this for
Hit
myself.
the spin button. Hit the spin button. Come on, see. Sweet, you're my good luck charm.
I'm the good luck charm. Oh, yeah, right, okay.
Yeah.
If I get you out of my room here. I don't believe this. Have you ever seen such a thing in a sewing video?
Alright.
Uh-huh.
Very nice.
Yeah. Nighty-night. Sweet dreams.
Oh my god. It's tomorrow's Sunday.
Oh, I don't know what day it is tomorrow, but you may not see it. You keep coming in here.
I'm going to start taking the Christmas tree down.
You can do this tomorrow. Not now. Yes. I know he does this on purpose. I know he does. I was informed yesterday. So what I'm going to do, just to kind of save my skin on this one, I'm going to cut a piece of this stapler. I'm going to do a no-no. That's why I said don't do it at home unless you absolutely feel you have to. And I'm going to stick it on the back of the piece that I just added. This is what you call covering your butt. And because it's where it's supposed to be, I'm going to lift the needle up, okay? And you can pop this out in the meantime. They just say, don't do that. I had to do it when like the needle breaks and you can't get to the bottom without doing it. So I'm going to take this out really fast and try to salvage the rest of it by doing this little number. I'm going to stabilize it now. A little bit of stabilizer on it. Get nice and flat. This is looking so awesome. Come on, get in there. I'm going to ask him how much I won. It's like, I have a right to know how much I won, okay? All right, here we go. I'm going to put it down and go from here. That's the great thing. It remembers where you left off. And it's not perfect, but the integrity of the fabric is still there. But none of this is perfect, right? I know, sweetheart. Now we have to do the outline. And now the outline will be, like I say, now you get to see me thread it. This is taking way longer than I anticipated, and I do apologize for that. Okay, I was trying to decide what to put around, and since it's kind of a this color, I think I should probably do that. But then again, I see this color over here, and I think, you know, that'd be different. It's just the outline. So I'm gonna do it because this color is in a deeper version of blue is actually in the fabric. So to be different, you have one, go down, up, down, and then up here, just like a regular sewing machine. I always put my finger on the thread when I go to this part around the needle bar that goes up and down, and I keep the presser foot down so that if you keep enough pulled out, you don't have to worry about leaving the presser foot up like you do on a sewing machine for the tension discs. Just make sure you pull out enough extra to get it through the whole gizmo here. So we're going to do this and go up there and with that. And this is the needle threader, the automatic needle threader that I love. It goes just like this, but I got to make sure the needle is all the way up. Okay, oh, now it's in the up position. We're threading. Oh, I didn't have it in there. Now it's in there, I think. Yep. If you miss one spot, one number in threading this machine, actually any embroidery machine, that automatic threader just will not work. And that's set to go. And here's the last step. It was a good color to choose. Yeah, because what it's doing, it's making it pop off the fabric because it's a contrast color. It's in the material and the other color isn't, so it's going to literally make it look dimensional. Yeah, this is going to be great. You're going to love this. I'm like crazy. Nut loves it. And it's actually covering up some of the boo-boo part from this little bit of stretching. Even with the boo-boo part, it's really looking good. You're giving it to somebody crazy like that, I'll never notice. I hope you guys like what I came up with, and I hope we get one of these and have a lot of fun creating. And have more fun at using this for personalized gifts than you can imagine. And it's going to come in really handy for the NSF Quest. Okay, finished product. It says finished embroidering. Okay, we went through there once before. Like I said, if I wanted to add something else at this point, I can. I would put it in, position it, take out the previous design, otherwise it will embroider over top of it, unless you want it to embroider over top of it. But if you do and you want it to have like a shadow effect, just move it like 2 or 3, I call it clicks or arrows to the left or right, and it'll do that. This is going to be a hat. I think I kind of hinted to that, right? Oh, when you're done, backspace, backspace, backspace. It says, okay to cancel current pattern selection. And this literally means current pattern selection. Whatever's on the screen, or was on the screen when you did it. Then you hit OK. And then I had to do that to get the first lettering off so this would not cover it up. And now back to the main screen. Before you take your hoop off, you hit, it tells you always press when removing embroidery unit. They call that the embroidery unit. And the only reason why I did it for that little bit was for that mess up. That ended up being not so much mess up. Wait till you see. Alrighty then. And see where I put the stabilizer. I really did not bad. I did have to have this piece here. Right here. We turn this around, and this is what we ended up with. I added this. I really like this look. Now, all the little stray threads in here, you get rid of those very easily. You can use a seam ripper to kind of like get them undone, but you'll need, these are the best scissors you can get. They're kind of, well, there is also applique scissors, but I prefer a tiny pair, very sharp pointed scissors that are curved. See how they're literally curved. And the reason why the curve comes in handy is you want to take this off, because then I get to stitch it to make what it is. And take it out, because now that it's not stiff and tight, it's easier to maneuver under the threads. The little small points are fabulous. You just snip that, go back to where it started, cut that off. This is what I call cleaning it up. This is the trimming part, and where the threads were going across the number 3. Now it's nice and clean. No threads there and no threads there. Yeah, I'm going from camera to camera again. But this is going to be very useful and very much used a lot for the NSF Lap Quilt Quest. If any of your regular watchers, you would have known about the Blessings contest in December, and I warned you that there might be another one coming up. Now, I did ask a question multiple times on several of my videos about which hand did I write with. Nobody answered it. Nobody commented. So guess what? Nobody got a prize. Oh well, I thought y'all wanted a sewing machine, but I guess not. Yeah, I got a bunch of them that I am wanting to give at least one to somebody. So this is not a contest. This is a blessings event. First contest was a contest to bless a stranger. Tell me your story of how you blessed a stranger, and or how a stranger blessed you, and how that all worked out. I had so many beautiful stories. I'm going to share one real quick with you. There was an individual, and I promised anonymity because it's very personal, and usually, well, not usually, but sometimes those blessing stories are very, very personal. This individual was very sick, and the sickness could have been terminal, and there is a group of individuals that are called angels that are assigned to people that are deemed terminal like that, to kind of keep their spirits lifted and keep them up. And sadly, the first individual that was assigned to this person, for whatever reason, the contact was supposed to be, I think, something like once a month. And the one who was assigned to her case or whatever wasn't contacting her after about a month. And so I guess there is someone in charge, and they come and they make sure that you're being kept uplifted and hopeful and this and that. And when they found out that something had happened to who was supposed to be keeping in contact, they were surprised, to say the least. So she was, kind of down, and you can imagine, anyone that's struggling from one day to the next, it's tough. It's tough to get up in the morning, and deal with all the medicines and things like that. Well, all of a sudden, she started getting phone calls from other angels in that organization, and she got call after call after call after call of angel after angel after angel after angel. And the long end of it, the end result of it is she's in remission. She was healed. And those angels that gave her the positive energy and allowed her to believe in healing again. That is amazing to me. I mean, I have lots of family members who have had that terminal thing and didn't survive it. Grandmother, my uncle, a cousin when he was only 40-something years old. So near and dear to my heart was that story. So that's why we, and I did say we need to all, we need to all get together and do this. This is a really tiny version. This was for a book cover. This is one book cover, and this was another one. As a matter of fact, that one's just a partial one. This one's actually finished sewn one. You see this little box in the middle, a square. It's going to be like a 4-inch square. And that's either going to have something like this in it, or it's going to have another verse, uplifting verse, embroidered on it. If you have an embroidery machine and you want to embroider something on just a square for one of these, because the lap quilts that we're doing is for seniors who feel like they've been forgotten. They don't feel the love anymore, and they sure don't feel it during the holidays. I saw it firsthand when I worked in a nursing home back, it's been 40 years and I can't believe it. Yeah, I was 23, now I'm 63. So, if you want to participate in something that could be phenomenal, that can be viral, not just in our country, it can go across the ocean. It really could, because there's elderly everywhere. And there's elderly feeling left out everywhere, feeling not loved. You can leave a comment, how I can reach you to get you the information. If you want to participate, how you want to participate, or you just want to know how. Give me your information, or just say, I'm in. Comment, I'm in, and I will comment back to you how to contact me directly. No money involved, just a heart. Just a heart and a love of sharing love. It's important. It helps some people live longer, you know. So through this, and I hope you've enjoyed this craziness goes on in this house. I'm so sorry. But find your joy, find your passion, and please, whatever you do, just like I do every day, I just would love to see y'all keep on sewing, and hopefully you get to hear the audio on this one. If not, I'm going to figure out how to do subtitles. But keep on sewing, guys. I love you all. Keep me on the air. Subscribe.